Hi, everyone. This is a follow-up to my last video, which if you have not seen that, it's about how the Etsy algorithm is working for buyers and why sellers need to know about what's going on Etsy because they're really pushing people down the browse algorithm path as opposed to relying on search terms. Now, I had a person in my Facebook group who actually started this conversation, and she asked me, does this really affect me? Because she has the kind of things that you search for, like people go to Etsy and search for her product, which is a beating pattern. And I thought, well, it's not going to be the same as people getting into the gift mode and that kind of thing. But let's see what Etsy is doing if you go to Etsy to search for products. And they do kind of have a few things that you need to watch out for. And if you have, I did a video about this a couple years ago. I'm not sure where I posted it, but this is a critical warning for people because on desktop, it's not quite the same on the app. They have different filters, but on desktop, if you don't have certain things turned on in your listing, you're not going to be shown to most people the way that Etsy has the site set up. So I'm on Etsy right now. I'm going to search for, see, this is what happens. This is what I'm saying. When you go to Etsy, they're trying to funnel you into the gifts and, things where you're not even searching for anything. But I'm going to search for beating patterns because that's what we were talking about. So now we've got all these selections. Somebody might click that. I'm just going to do beating patterns and see what comes up. Okay, so the psychology of shopping online, and this has been proven, multiple studies, people tend to click on filters up here. They're giving me all kinds of filters to click, and they also tend to buy from the top of the page. So people will buy at the top. The things that are at the top are what they click on because they don't scroll. Now on the app, these filters are slightly different. So it's not going to be exactly the same experience. And you're going to have to go on the app and look to see what it is. But a lot of the same ads are showing up on the app and that kind of thing. But if you go to Etsy, the first thing you're going to see is personalize these finds. And I've tested this for a few different things I searched for. I did cake decorations. I did baby sweaters. I'm just trying to find things that are kind of random. And personalize these finds, or Etsy's picks tend to show up. I'm gonna look for baby sweaters because I think that was an Etsy's pick. I could be wrong. No, it's personalized. Okay, so personalize these finds are showing up. I really think that the reason that they're doing this, and this is very similar to what Pinterest is doing right now in a different capacity for a different thing. I really, really think that they're pushing personalization, and they've said we're going to be pushing personalization. They said that in the Q4 earnings report for, that just came out. They said that they want to push personalization, and I think that's because they know that if something is personalized, then a human has touched it at some point in the process. It's not something that somebody ordered from Alibaba and then is reselling as is. There's something going on to personalize it. And if Etsy can get people to click on personalized things, then they're going to get something that has a little more effort in it. And I think that that's Etsy's attempt to show the quote unquote best of Etsy, which is what they said they're going to do. So the thing that you need to understand about the personalize these finds section is that these are just here we are, click on this because they're at the top of the page. That's the first thing. The second thing, when you click on see more, if it's personalization, you're going to be taken to a page where personalizable is the default filter. It's turned on automatically. The customer didn't click this. They clicked on see more out of that personalizable section. And every single listing in here, and I have checked this, and this is what happened a couple of years ago. I'm not sure exactly 2 or 3 years, but to have something in that personalizable filter, it means that the personalization box in that listing is turned on. These people are not using the personalization box to actually personalize the patterns, so don't worry about that. What they're using it for is things like, do you want to get my email newsletter? Type yes. Or do you understand that this is a PDF pattern and no physical product will be added? Type yes. So even if you don't have a pattern that's personalizable, you need to have that personalization box active in the listing in order to be included in that top filter that people tend to click on, and that will then default to the personalization filter. So that's another thing that could be going on. And I actually went and checked in her shop, and she does not have the personalization box turned on as far as I can see in the listings that I checked. So what I would suggest is that if you watch my video yesterday, that I posted it on Tuesday, if you watch that and you said, well, this doesn't affect me because I don't have things that people give as gifts, so they'll be searching for it. I would go and see what's coming up when people actually search for that on Etsy. Is it that box? Is it that row of listings that say personalize this item? If so, and if your sales have dropped recently, then I would put the personalization box in there if it's just only to say, sign up for my email list. Because if that box is active in your listing, you will be shown in that section. But if it's not, you won't. So I'm just saying, and this does not mean that everybody is going to click on that row, but statistics show that most people click at the top of the page. And if Etsy is showing somebody something right there, chances are they're going to click on there and then they get thrown into other filters. And this is what Etsy's doing now. They're taking people who are clicking on things that they're giving them and throwing them into a filtered search after that click has happened. That's just something to be aware of. If you have any questions, post them, give this video a thumbs up, and I will talk to you later.